Back to our podcast.
Welcome back.
We are so excited to have you guys, and I'm actually excited to talk about the topic because it's one of my favorite topics ever.
We thought about how to just say it.
Like, you guys requested us to talk about this, and we were like, how are we going to start this off? Like, how is this something that you just go out and talk about? But we're just gonna jump right into it.
We just have to break the ice because there's no we can't softly go into it.
Yeah,
so we just
hard launch it. So as you guys requested, we are gonna be talking about sex today.
Sex, just sex. And we got different questions and topics, and we're not actually going to read the questions. We are just going to talk about sex in an overall,
in general.
In general.
My favorite subject. No, I'm just kidding.
I think I find talking about sex very awkward. Not with you, not like with a close friend, but just in general. It's just not a subject I talk to too many people about. So the fact that I'm getting on here and just talking publicly speaking about it, it's a little awkward for me, but we're doing this for you guys, not for me. So
first things first is I personally, this is probably TMI. This whole podcast is probably going to be TMI. I lost my virginity when I was so young. I was about to be 14 when I lost my virginity. Obviously, I got pregnant at 15, right? So I was about to be 14 when I lost.
I think that was very common. I mean, honestly, I don't know, because I was actually talking to my daughter about this the other day, and then I told her, I was like, oh, girls at your school, they must be out there, and she's like, Mom, people don't do that. And I was like, that's when I realized that, well, she's my daughter too, so I don't think she's gonna be telling me who, telling me of her and her friends. But I really think that for us, it was just a thing. It was just common. It would just,
I feel like it was, I heard you talking to Annalie in the kitchen earlier about having babies at a young age. And back when we were young, that was a flex.
Yeah, that's what she was saying too. That's what Annalie was like. I think that was a flex for you guys. If you were not pregnant by 17, you were behind in life.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
People are 25 and don't have kids, and that's a flex.
Yeah,
which is a good thing.
Yeah, that's really good. And I think back when we started having sex, you don't even know what sex is really at that age. It's from there now. I remember listening to my aunts and my mom and them talk about, oh, you guys know nothing, and when you guys are in your 30s and 40s, that's the best. And back then I'm like, no, the best is now. What are they talking about? They're old. How can it possibly get better? But the older you get, the better it gets. Not us synchronizing into that. We did not practice that. I think it gets better. And
don't get me wrong, I could move a lot better back then, but there's just
toss you, turn you, and
me but now I could even last longer back then, but now it's just a whole different experience. I feel it's more intimate now,
and I think it's a different feeling too. The same as, I don't know if you have this or not, but me, before I had kids, I would get at Six Flags, I would get on roller coasters. I would bungee jump, do crazy things. And the feeling was different, inside how I felt, the adrenaline or whatever it was. And then after I had kids, it's this scary, different feeling. So I think in a way that applies to sex, but in the opposite. Right. Now it's it even feels different. I don't know how to explain it. How do I even explain that?
It's just a whole different experience. To experience it when you're young and then to experience it when you're older, which I'm not saying go out and experience when you're young, by all means. I tell Aaliyah, wait till you're at least 19, 20, and do not have kids until you're at least 26, 27, because I want her to experience life. I don't get to do that. So I live through her, and I want her to experience, traveling and things like that. So she's about 25, 26, 27. But yeah, it's a whole different experience from the two. And I don't know, this podcast is about to get deep into the sex conversation. And like I said, it's probably TMI.
I talked to my daughter also, right, about sex. And I'm the type of mom that's don't ever have sex because if you do, you're gonna die. Like type thing. You know, I try to like. I cannot get. I don't know. I think I'm like both. I can't get with the program of like allowing your kids to have sex, but I also think it's important to speak to talk to them about it because so they can be protected or whatever it is. I mean, my daughter is about to be 16 next month. I don't know. And just thinking about myself at that age, I was already doing stuff. So I just want her to know.
We were already had kids at that age. So
well, I had one more year.
when did you get pregnant?
17.
Oh.
Yeah, I got pregnant at 17 and then I had Lexi at 18. But I mean, at 16, I was already practicing, you know, if that's what you want to call it. So, yeah, so I tell her all the time. And the way that I try to scare her, I guess, it's we know people, some of her friends, that are not necessarily friends, but just girls she knows that they have been around, right, at school. And I'm like, you do not want to be that girl. Like that. You do not want to be the girl because look, they were with this guy and with this guy and with this guy. And at the end, those girls lose their friends because they get to the point where they start doing things with everyone. They don't care, like with their friends, ex-boyfriends, with their friends, like everyone, and then no one likes them, and then you're just the hoe, like the hoe. Right. And I'm like, you do not
once you're labeled as the
that's
hoe,
it.
like you're always going to be the hoe.
Yeah.
Like, you could be married for like 10 years, you're still going to be the hoe.
The hoe, and especially in like high school. And those 4 years will take a long time. Like it seems like 4 years can go by fast. No, imagine just living with that. So I always tell her like, you do not want to be known as that girl. And I'm like, plus, honestly, like at this age, it's not that great. It's not anything that you're missing out on. It's just, you know, it's just basic. Half the time you have to be hiding. It has to be quick. It's not how it will be when you're older. I'm like, take your time. Wait, there is no rush. There's no rush for you to do any of that. But of course, I mean,
we gotta live life too, though.
No, don't tell me to tell my daughter to live her life.
No, not her. She don't live life, but everybody else, and besides our daughters, everybody else needs to live life a little bit. I feel like I'm content with like my life. Like I did what I did, and I did who I did, and at this point, I'm like, you know, whatever. Like
I think it worked out for us in the life. Because where we are now and how everything happened, it worked out for us having kids young, and it was good. And that was the thing to do, I guess, back then.
But it doesn't work out for everybody. Like
so don't think that. Yeah, and that's what I told her too. Like, and when she tells me like, well, you and dad have been together forever, and it's like, not everyone. You're not gonna end up like that. Like I can tell, like 99.9 of the couples or people or high school loves, they don't end up like that. So
not only that, but like even like in our city that we live in, like so many STDs, like herpes is like really big.
And I think that's everywhere. I think honestly that's everywhere. Every city, especially big cities. I know like places like Chicago or what was the one? I think I saw this. Like the Dominican Republic is like one of the biggest STD like. I don't know, what do you say, countries or I don't know. Yeah,
I did not know that
was one. Yeah, and I think it's like that everywhere. I mean, it's sex. Sex is everywhere, no matter where you go. It's just a universal. I think most importantly, before we keep going on the sex topic, just be safe. I think the one thing with sex is whatever you do, whatever you decide, whoever you decide with, at whatever age you decide. Of course, we're not encouraging this. Like, you know, especially anyone that is not an adult. But if you are making the decision and if you feel, you know, grown enough or capable enough to do it, then just be safe. Be safe and know who you are doing it with, the consequences of it. And
don't be afraid to ask for test results. Like now that I went through my single journey, like I was big on like, let me see your results. I mean, he brought it to my attention the other day that I asked for it too late, which I did, but like I still asked for it because you need to know. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and I don't know. I don't think he was necessarily offended. He was just more like.
And I think that there is people, or you know, and I'm not just going to say guys because it could be guys or girls that may get offended or maybe like, why do you want to see that? Like, I can tell you that I don't have anything, and it's like you can't.
You don't
You
know
can't
these
just trust
people.
that. You
Yeah,
don't
you
know.
don't know these people. I've known people and I thought they were so cool, and then they turn out to be like compulsive narcissists, liars. Like,
Yeah. So it's not, if you just, if someone asks for results or something, or go get tested or whatever it is, just do it. If it's important for you enough to, like, if that's the person you want to be with sexually, then just do it. Get it done, prove to each other, and then do things
you ask
safe.
too. Don't be afraid to be like, let me see those results. Okay. So this is probably TMI, but what is your favorite sex position?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest.
You guys, I feel like the alcohol is kicking in.
Why are you asking me first, Miss Shyness? Okay, I will be 100% honest on here, and this is making me blush.
Ooh.
Okay, so you guys probably don't know, but you will know today. Me being the most freaking vulnerable, like trying to skip this question. Can I plead the fifth? Okay, so I had
can I call a friend?
Okay, so before my surgery, right? I had a breast augmentation. Before my surgery, my favorite position ever was me on top. And because my breasts were like huge, like, what do you call it? Like sexual arousal type thing when they were little. Like, it was like the best thing ever. Somebody could literally like swipe like this and I would be like, oh, it would wake something inside of me, right? When I had my surgery, which the doctor did tell me, there's like a 90 whatever % chance that you may not be able to feel anything after this, but it's like a 97%. Like, I don't think you'll be in the 3%, whatever. So I'm like, okay, of course, like I'm not going to be in the 3%. Yeah. Guess who was in the 3%? Oh. So, of course, my luck, I was in that percentage and the doctor did say, between 6 months to a year, the feeling can come back. So it takes a while. It usually takes a while for like the feeling to come back. And it was like 6 months. I went to my 6-month checkup, my year checkup, and the feeling never really came back. Yeah. And not that it's completely like numb, it's just not.
It doesn't give you that feeling anymore.
No. And at some point between like the first 6 months to the first year, it was almost, how like when something goes to sleep, like your leg goes to sleep or something and you're like touching it, like I had no feeling. I could literally like pinch it and I couldn't feel anything. So it was.
You should have got them pierced then.
That's what my husband says now. He's like, maybe you should get them pierced so then you can get the feeling back, because you'll either that or you won't feel the piercing. So at that point, so now he gets really mad and he's just like, I don't even know why I bought you those if you don't even like them anymore and I can't play. Like, they're just there, but it's not the same. There
for a reason.
It's not for the reasons that we wanted them. As a woman, it makes me happy just because, it's full now, anything that I wear. But in that aspect, like sexually, if someone was to ask me, like, would you rather go back to your little boobs and the feeling they used to have or your big boobs, I would say little boobs.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that used to be my favorite like ever. And now I feel like I don't really have a favorite one. It just depends on the mood.
Okay.
Because it depends on, have I had some drinks? Is it like, when I just wanted to go fast, like, okay, whatever, just do your thing. Like, I don't even care. So I think it just depends on the mood.
Okay.
So now back to you. What's your favorite? Do you have an actual favorite?
I do.
Okay.
Well, okay, so it goes both ways. I personally, this TMI, and God, I hope there's nobody on here that's under 18. If you are,
or like my mom or someone.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking like my kids. Like, if you hear you're under 18, leave now. Okay, so I have always been like a doggy style, kind of like, that's just my thing. Like, I can do it. Like, I love it. It doesn't matter. Like, even like before my last marriage, like just with anybody, anything, like
that's your thing. That's like your thing.
Like,
okay.
I will full on like, but now that I'm older and now that
wiser, she's not that wiser, but she's older.
Right. Like, I feel like my biggest thing is like, I love a quickie anywhere besides the bed. Like, it doesn't even have to be a position. Just like, it could literally be like like behind the garage, like on the bathroom counter, like literally in the car. Like, the adrenaline.
I was just gonna say that. I think it's more of like the adrenaline and more like somewhere that you know you're not supposed to be.
It's sneaky.
Yeah.
I love it. Like whether it's 3 minutes.
Like the hurry up, someone's coming, like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
Like just give it to me. Like
the bed just seems very like, well, that's what it's there for. Yeah, like no one's gonna walk in on us.
For me, it's so played out. The bed, like I'm just over it. Like unless we're, I'm on my hands and knees. But yeah, like just sneaky sex.
Being adventurous.
Sex for me.
Okay.
Like I said, whether it's 3 minutes, whether it's 15, 20, 30, it's just in general, like I just love me some sneaky sex.
I also, speaking of sex, what we're speaking on, when I was younger, I remember I already had my daughter, but I was still young. And I remember hearing, my older, my aunts and talk about like sex toys and things like that. And I would be like, I think if you need sex toys for the bed, then you're just not good. Like why would you need sex toys to like help out? Like I used to look at sex toys and like oh, you have sex toys? But now I understand like, oh, okay. And I used to think also, not only because of, like as a woman, but like the guys, I would be like, wouldn't the guys get like offended? Like, this is what I'm here for. Why do you need like an extra something device? Which I am not so much about like an extra device, but like something to like more like a vibrate. Yeah, like that. So now I'm like, no, like if anything, if a man is a man, he's gonna love those things. He's gonna pull it out and he's gonna be like, where's the toy? Like, I got you, like we're good. So I think like that's the best when you like you guys know each other's like what you guys like. Then
what sets you off.
Yeah.
Like he knows what sets you off, you know what sets him off, and at the end of the day it's all fun and games, and then everybody gets set off, and
that's it. And then you got where you were supposed to get. I got where I was supposed to get. Now let's go to bed. Your side, my side, we're good. Mm-hmm. No, you're a cuddler, so it's not.
I am a cuddler, but you know what? My new man, I'm just like like we'll cuddle to put me to sleep, and then like he goes on his side, and I just be there. Like
I've always been his side, my side. Our mattress. We were actually just talking about this. I was telling Andrew that we needed. I want a new bed frame because ours, like we have the big headboard, and I don't know, I just think it's like so big now. I want something like smaller and shorter. And I've been seeing a lot of houses and they have smaller, so the room looks bigger because of the smaller headboard. So I've been telling them like the past week, I'm like, oh, I think we should get a new headboard. I think we should get a new headboard. And he's like, well, if we get a headboard, we might as well get a new mattress. And I'm like, yeah, but mattresses are more expensive. And then he was like, look at our mattress. So I looked at our mattress, and ours is not the one that you can't flip it. You know how there's some that you can like flip it or, turn it, whatever, because it has the pillow top. So you can't, if you turn it the other way, then it has no pillow top.
Do you like turn it around though? Like the head on the...
Yeah, we do that, but this doesn't help like our mattress problem, because if you look at it, he's like, look at our mattress. And then there's like a dent, and then the middle goes up. Like it literally goes up in the middle because that's where no one sleeps. Like it's just, so it's like him on one side, me on the other side. So even like the middle, it's visible and you can see it like just up, like it's just higher. And even if you take the sheets off, that part right there looks like newer and you can just tell. So neither of us now even really turn to that side because it's uncomfortable because it goes up a little higher. So if we did move the mattress, on one side. So no, we wouldn't fit. I would be like, move. And so even if we do turn it around, it's the same thing because the hump is still in the middle. So then I'm like, oh yeah, this is how you can tell we're non-cuddlers, because I think if it was up to him, we would cuddle, but I'm the one that's like,
don't touch me.
It's almost like I made that, I didn't make it purposely, but that's your side, this is my side. You stay over there, I stay over here.
Pillows in the middle.
Yeah, in the middle. Well, that's our pillow now, the little thing that goes up. So yeah, I'm not a cuddler. I don't. do all that. But
I can cuddle all night.
No.
Like, I just want to be up under my man.
But I'm also always hot. Like, I'm always sweating and I'm hot and I need the fan on and I need, like, so if I'm hot and then he's like trying to hug me, it's like, just.
You know what I hate? You know what hurts my feelings? Is I will be so cold. Like, I will be like freezing. And since I'm a cuddler, I like body heat. Like, I will, like, your body will warm me up. No. And then, like, he's still like, and I just be like, oh, okay. Like,
I'm just gonna freeze you. Hey, be dramatic and, like, walk and be like, shivering.
Yeah.
Wake up with, like, wake up with frozen boogers.
Yeah, I told him, I think it was 2 nights ago, he slept with the window open, and I was like, it was so cold in there. I felt like we were camping. Like, I felt like
that is me. I love the cold. I love being under the blanket and, like, just being like freezing. Yeah.
No, I don't.
We're totally opposites when it comes to that. I'm not. No cuddling over here.
Like, and it's not even just cuddling. Like, I have to be like up under him. Like just get.
At least he's a big guy.
Yeah.
Like, not big, but like tall, so then he can, you feel like he's not. Imagine if he was.
But he don't do it, so.
You'll be like, do you grab his arm and, like, force it on you?
He, like, lays like that way, like facing the other side, and then, like, we even try to, like, switch spots before, and, like, he'll turn and roll that way and face that side,
and you're like, okay, that's not working out.
Yeah. Guys, we had to take a pause because my allergies are acting like crazy. But what were we saying before we went on our little I was like sneezing break, and I'm just like, what? So going from, I'm interested in knowing, like, going from, obviously my sex life is very, not boring, I don't want to say that, but repetitive, you have to spice things up and funk it up because, you have to keep going. But with you going from, like, married to single to new man, like, how is your sex drive now? It's, I feel like it's changed a lot. I feel like my sex drive has always been, like, off the wall, but because of my divorce and everything, like, it faded away. Like, it wasn't there. I guess I wasn't into it. But now, girl, like, I feel like I can do it, like, all day, every day. Like, I'm not even joking when I say that.
Sometimes when the last podcast that we had, and I think one of the questions was, like, once a month or 3 times a day, and you're like, 3 times a day, and I'm like, girl, chill. Like, me listening to you say that, I'm exhausted. Someone commented on one of the videos, and they were like, you guys are too old. It was like, it wasn't even anything like this. Now what are they going to say? Like, you guys are too old to be talking about stuff like that. And I'm like, we are not old. We are at our prime.
I feel old, though. I do feel old.
It's because of our kids.
Yeah. Because our kids are older, so they make us feel old.
And you know what? I want everybody's opinion. How old are you? And how old do you think is old, I guess? Yes. Like, do you guys think
it's just going to depend on who's watching, to be honest. Because
that's why I said, how old are you? Like, put in the comments your age and then how old you think old is.
Because honestly, like, I don't think, I feel old sometimes. Like, I do. I'm like, oh my God, we're so old. And me, like, not wanting to do things like, no, I don't want to go out today. Like, those things make me like, okay, I'm getting old. But there's also, like, other things that I'm like, no, we're still young. Like, we are not. I see older people, I'm like, oh no, I am not that old. I guess I'm in denial, right? But if I think about myself as, we're the new adults. So when I was younger and my mom was, like, in her 30s, I thought my mom was old. Yeah. And I would have been like, oh my God, gross. Like, why are you talking about that? Like, my mom does not have sex. Like, she's old, even though she was in her 30s. Yeah. So now I'm like, is this how people, younger kids or, they look at us and they're like, ew, they're old. Or even my sister, like, my sister always calls me old, but I know she's joking. me being in denial still. But yeah, like, if those younger, people that are in their 20s are probably like, what are these old hags talking about?
No, yeah, definitely my sex drive has changed, and I love it here. I do. I love it here.
I think it's good. I think it's always good to have that. It's almost like a spark, like back to it. Makes you feel alive, doesn't it?
It gives me so many feelings.
I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
With that being said, also, I am all for it, right? Like, go out there, live life, like, experiment, have sex, do this, do that. But I feel like I'm also not okay. I shouldn't say this, but you also cannot be a hoe. You cannot be out there and just be giving it to everyone.
But I guess, like, okay, in our day and age, what's considered a hoe?
Okay, so
I feel like everybody has, like, their own
definition of, because I know, like, at least teenagers, I don't even think they use the word hoe anymore, right? Do they?
I don't know. They use bop.
Oh, yeah. So,
it's
yeah.
A bop.
Bop.
She's a bop. Okay. It's a bop, whatever.
So, wow, that sounds so not like, I want somebody to be like, that's a hoe. Like, that's offensive.
Yeah.
But even, you know, the, whatever, younger generation, I think people our age, right? When you have kids, when you have been married, not married, whatever, you still cannot be out here with all these guys. I feel like you just can't, because not only so much just because of the having sex part, but back to, you don't want to catch anything. Like,
no.
You know?
So yeah, you have to be protected. But you know what? This is going to sound so stupid. I did not know until my divorce and we separated that you can catch herpes with using a condom. I did not know that. I did not know that. I guess I never put thought into it because I was only with one partner for 19 years. But, yeah.
So, but isn't it?
It's like skin to skin contact, so like around. Yeah.
So it's anywhere around.
Anywhere around.
So even if you're not.
Even if you're not. Yes.
That is crazy.
I know.
I mean,
it makes sense.
Yeah,
but I
but
never.
you would think like, oh, you're protected because this is protecting it.
No. And then I was just talking to somebody recently, and he was I wasn't talking to somebody. I was talking to my man. He was telling me that you can catch like other STDs from kissing. I did not know that either.
I know there are some that like from. I mean, are they STDs or are they like just?
No, they're STDs.
Me not being educated, I'm gonna go home.
It's like, because you've been with your husband for so long. I was the same way. Like, it's a whole like different world out here. I was with my ex-husband for so long too that I never put that. I wasn't out kissing anybody. I wasn't out doing anything. It wasn't like a worry or anything that you have to be careful. So imagine on top of like people that are single, right? On top people are probably watching this thing that we're so stupid.
We're so dumb.
Like this is coming from
this. We're giving old.
We've been under a rock.
Yeah, we're literally giving old. We're like, we're not that old, and then we're asking things or saying things. No, but it does. When you don't experience something or you don't have to go through that, you just block it off. It's not a thing. You don't worry about it. You don't think about it. So it's like the same thing. You know, it's not anything we've had to worry about. But imagine on top of being single, looking for someone. Whatever, I'm just going to go in. I'm going to have fun. And then worrying about all that.
Yeah.
At this point, it's just lock it up. I'm not doing nothing. Just.
It's a lot. It's a lot of thinking. It's not even worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, go get you a toy and do what you gotta do, because unless you really like find somebody that you want to be with, and then you're like, okay, and you ask for results before you do anything, and you know, whatever. Okay, that's different. But I don't know. I feel like as far as like what it takes to be a hoe, I feel like a hoe is definitely somebody that goes and sleeps with everybody they meet. Also, I feel like a hoe is, like, if you're sleeping with, you know, family members or people that, like, your friends' ex-husbands or things like that. That's a hoe to me. What else? I'm trying to think.
I think it's just sleeping around with no.
Like a homie hopper, that's a hoe. Is that what they call it nowadays? I don't know.
What the fuck is a homie hopper? But that's, I don't know your language. No, also, when there's no, like, feelings involved. And not that you have to be, have feelings with each person that you sleep with, but just going around, just doing it for, like, I think sometimes at that point, it's not even just doing it for the pleasure either. I think some people may be just addicted to it, or, like, why, especially when it's, like, multiple people. Like, what are you looking for?
How do you get pleasure sleeping with somebody that you don't have feelings for, I guess?
Yeah.
How does that work?
And sometimes it's not even, I mean, I guess in men, I don't know, because you know how they say men will bang anything that has a hole. Like I don't know, I believe that. But like as a girl, as a woman, how do you, or even guys that you're not even attracted to? I've heard so many stories and like firsthand stories like, oh, I didn't even like him. Like, oh, I think he's ugly. Then how did you go through it? Like, how did you even go through it? Like, to the point where it got to the point of having sex. You had to be either, whether you're physically attracted, emotionally, something's got to be there. But the fact that you're just doing it just to do it,
yeah,
that's crazy.
And then, like, I feel like when it comes down to it, I feel like women should value themselves more than some of them do. I don't know. Like, I can't just give it up to everybody because I feel like they don't look at you the same. Like, they look at you differently. You know what I mean?
Once in relationships or, you know, just the whole after, like, that has happened so many times to where guys try so hard until the point where they get what they want and just everything changes.
Yeah.
Like their whole way that they're approaching you and everything. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. You know, some people just want to do it and that's it. They don't want a relationship or they don't want to be with someone. People are going to be like, I'm not trying to be married. I'm not trying to be you, Julie, be with someone for 19 years.
Right.
But still, like, it's just for the safety of it. Of why just, I think at that point you just need like some type of, there may be something more there, like some type of trauma or some other underlying issue that's making you just want to have sex with everyone.
Right.
Or just random people.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, when I was younger, like, I didn't. I guess I used to, like, I didn't know what love was, and like, whoever I slept with when I was younger, like, those were, like, just kind of, like, whatever. But again, I was young. Like, it wasn't, like, I don't know. I was too young. I didn't even know what I was doing.
Because some of the, you know, guys or boys, whatever the hell you want to call them, it's not like I envision myself with them, like being married or living my whole life or having children by them or anything. It's just something you just do. Right. But I think at that age is acceptable. Like, I was young at that age. I don't think, but I'm talking about like now like the 30-year-olds, like people that I know firsthand, and it's like people that have children, and like, oh, what are you doing? Like, that's not okay. That's not cool. And then they don't hide it either. That's what the problem is. Like, at least whatever you're gonna do, just do it and don't tell everyone about it. But I mean, at the end of the day, to each their own, and you do with your body.
Yeah, we're not here to judge nobody. This is a no judging zone. Yeah. We did what we did when we were younger, and we're here now. But I don't know.
Just be safe and no. If you're not,
if you do want to be a girl, be a girl. If you do want to be a hoe, pop your shit, but just make sure you're safe and don't be telling anybody. Like,
keep it to yourself. And I don't know, just don't let the guy know either. Because I think, like, you know, don't try to throw it in their face. Like, well, that's because I was with somebody. They'll be like, oh, I knew it.
Yeah.
Especially don't tell a guy. And don't mess around with people that, okay, whoever you mess, if it's your choice. If you want to mess around with people, mess around with them, but just make sure they don't know each other. Like, at least pick them out.
No, you know what's my biggest thing? Make sure that you're not sleeping with somebody that one of your friends slept with, or somebody that, like, somebody you slept with's friend, or, like, man, that shit's overrated.
There's so many guys. Honestly, there are so many guys or girls that are out there and are willing to do things with you. Like, why come for the ones that and that is why sometimes I don't want to think about myself as like superior to anyone because we're all the same, but there are just some things that I would never do, and I will never understand why people would do certain things. But whatever you do, just make sure these guys, you know, they don't know each other. It's like, you know, different friend group, different hoes and different area codes.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was going to say, date somebody, like, go out of your city. Go out of your city. You know, if I would have never found the man that I'm with now, if I would have never found him, which, by the way, you guys, I don't know if I officially told you guys, but I'm officially off the market.
Yes, she's off the market. No, not, well, yes for me, because I like that, because now we're back to family life.
Yes, like normal stuff.
And I have to make appointments with her, like, are you going to be out?
But, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought.
You're off the market
before that. I get you guys. This is a 30-year-old shit. Like I forget everything that I say.
But different area codes.
Oh, if I would have never found him, my plan was to just date people not in my city, fly out, date for a weekend, and then come back and just kind of like get to know. When I say date, I don't mean like date. I mean like actual like go on a date, like dinner,
like go out on a dinner,
hotel, and all that good stuff. So. That would have been my thing. Like, fly out, get to know other people, come back home, fly out somewhere else, get to know other people, come back home. That would have been my thing.
And I always know that the city, not the state, because it's big, but the city that you live in, everyone knows everyone. And whether the guy or whoever may promise you that they're not going to tell you, people are going to find out. One way or another. Not only that, but I feel like guys like to brag about it. Or bring it up or say, oh, I had her or I will have her or they were in my DMs or something just for the hell of it, just because they're guys and they want people to know that they got hoes and they hear the hoes just there smiling like,
just don't be that hoe. Don't be that hoe because that's like I said, like keep it private. Keep it.
There's nothing worse than just having your sex life out there. Unless you're Kim Kardashian, then
hey, us putting our sex lives out there.
Oh my god, no! But we're old. This is like past tense. Don't put it while it's happening. Like there's no way you would have ever caught me saying any of this while it was going on. But now it is. But like I said,
it is what it is.
Unless you're a Kim, then go for it. I kept telling Vanessa to take one for the team, and she wouldn't.
Speaking of Kim, did you guys see their crumble cookies? Did
you try them?
I did not, because everybody said everybody, even James Charles was like, oh, everybody's hating on me because I like Courtney's. He's like, I'm going to try it again. And then he like tried it and was like, yeah, this isn't as good as I remembered. He's like, but at first he was like, why would I lie? Like, over a cookie.
Yeah.
And then he tried it again. He was like, okay, maybe you guys are right. Like, this is not as good as I remembered it being. And then, okay, whatever. Somebody had posted their cookies too. I was like, yeah, no, they need to stick to sucking and giving. And I was like, dang, yes. So
I did not try them. They honestly did not look very, especially Courtney's and how everyone was reacting to hers. I mean, but of course, Courtney gives very matcha. Well, you like matcha, right?
I like matcha, yeah.
Yeah, no, matcha tastes like grass.
I put blueberry or raspberry in my matcha.
Oh, that's probably why. I tried this one and it was literally like if I had to go bite of grass, and ever since then I never tried it again. But the other ones, they look like okay. I guess the one that I would probably like the most would be Chloe's because I'm an Oreo person.
Analia told me Kendall's was good.
Well, hers was like
she liked Kendall's. I don't remember what she had, but she told me that Kendall's was like the best.
Probably. I think hers was like...
I feel like Kendall's more normal, too.
Yeah, she is. She's a little more normal. Yeah, Courtney, you can definitely not trust her. And anything that has to do with... You could trust her in, like, anything diet. Like, I would...
Oh, yeah, for
sure.
Yeah. All right, guys. So, before we end this podcast, we had... somebody asked us a question. So, there were two different questions, two different topics, but... I feel like they were both relatable, so I was like, we're gonna bring both of them up in this podcast. The one was about our sex lives. The second one was, what is the most embarrassing sex
anything that has ever happened? Okay, you go first. Okay, I go first because I think mine's not gonna be as awkward as I think it is. Yours is probably gonna be something crazy. I can just imagine.
Okay.
I think the most awkward one, and we still till this day talk about it. Okay, so it wasn't necessarily like in the act, right? Like as it was happening, but we used to all live together. Like my mom, my brother, my sister-in-law, my sister. Like this was like years ago. Andrew and I were like had just finished or something, and he was walking to the bathroom, right? So he was going to the bathroom. He didn't have like any. It wasn't awkward for me, but it was awkward for him. But just still the whole overall story. So he was walking to the bathroom, and he just walked there. So my sister-in-law, right, their room was like right next to ours, but the bathroom was closer to where we were at. So he didn't think. I mean, it's like 3, 4 in the morning. Like you're not gonna think that someone's gonna get up and go to the bathroom,
right?
So he started walking to the bathroom, and there was like this. Okay, so close to the bathroom. Anyway, so he was walking. She walks out to come to the bathroom, and we hear her. And what do? I grab the blanket and I just like cover myself like a dumbass. Like it's not like she was gonna go in the room or anything, but my first reaction was just like to cover myself. So he says that she started walking, but she like passed him because she didn't really realize like she was just going straight to the bathroom. And there was like this, how can I explain it? Imagine like a table thing like this. So he was completely naked, and he put his foot on top of the table. I don't want to get up to show you guys. And like to cover, and then he grabbed the phone, and then he's like pretending he's on a call at 3 a.m. And then she's like half asleep. She said that she just like looked at him, and then she just kept walking to the bathroom. But the way that he was positioned, it was so funny. Like,
wait, so he was naked?
He was naked, but he just like walked because where our room was, the bathroom was like basically connected to it. She had to walk from like farther. So we didn't think anything. He just like kind of ran to the bathroom. Yeah. So when he was going, she started going, and he didn't want her to see him, so she just put like his foot up so it would cover him. Yeah. But grabbed the phone and was like, "Oh yeah," I was like a phone call. So to this day, we still talk about it. How like, you know, what he did or whatever. And then I think we ended up telling her later, and she's like, "Honestly, I was half asleep. I didn't know what was going on." But I think that was like the most awkward, which I think it was more funnier for us. No one actually like saw us, so it wasn't as bad.
But you guys knew what was going on.
We knew what was going on, and sometimes we'll randomly like walk and like just do that little position, and then we just start like laughing. So yeah, that's mine.
I think for me, one of the most awkward situations I've had was, I've had a couple of them. I'm just an awkward. I don't know. I do dumb shit. Like I just
dumb shit that gets you dumber. So like, wait, how did that happen?
Yes. So okay, I feel like one time. Okay, this is, I guess, one worth talking about. One time when I was like maybe 18, me and my ex-husband made a movie. And it was like back then when he had like the Razor phone, and he had like put the Razor phone like between his legs, right? And so I was like standing up, and then I was like on top, facing him though. Uh-huh. And then, okay, whatever, we made our movie. Woo. And then it was like a year later. We used to give my mom like all of like our stuff from like when we were done with it or whatever. We didn't want it no more. Like, so my mom wanted the phone. Back then, you had your phone memory and you had your SD card in the phone. So what happened was, whenever she wanted the phone, I had gave her the phone, but I had erased it off the phone. I didn't realize you had erased it off the phone and the SD card. So she was like, you know, my mom, she was like always on the computer. She was all about pictures. Like, she always had like a camera, SD card. Like she would put it on her computer. So that's what she did. She took the SD card out, put it on her computer, and then I guess like the video was there. I didn't know that until one day she called us over and she sat us in her room, and like her screen was like probably like I'm not even joking. And then she like put the video on, and the video started playing, and I just looked and I was like, oh my god, and she was like dying laughing.
I think she's not awkward. Like I would have been yelled at. Like my mom would have yelled at me.
No, like she was like laughing at it. Like, but my sisters were in the room. My sister's boyfriend at the time was in the room. Like everybody was in the room.
Oh, it was like a family.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like a family get together, and then like she just started playing the movie, and I'm just like, oh my god, what are you doing? And everybody was just dying. So yeah,
that's crazy. That is so embarrassing. And you were involved in it. It's not like as to when I was not really involved, but it was like funny. But I feel like you've been through a lot of things, Vanessa. You look like you have probably been through
when I tell you, like, I don't know why I just do stupid shit. Like, I just do.
One thing that I'm so glad till this day, I mean, now we locked the door, but when the kids were younger, I was always so scared. And back in our house where we used to live, we didn't have a lock in our door. And we never put one. I don't know why. But I was always scared that, like, one of the kids was going to walk in. So I was always like, make sure they're asleep. Go check. Like, all this stuff. And, like, thank God till this day, like, I do not want to traumatize my kids. So we, now we lock the doors. If anything, they come and they just knock. And I think Lexi's at the age where she'll knock and then we're like, what? And she knows we don't just lock the door, so she'll like, what are you guys doing? And then I'm like, hold on. And then she like knows.
She's probably like,
slowly walks away, or she's just like, never mind, or something. But Anaisa, if she goes, she's like open the door. Like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, fuck. Like, okay. Yeah, just being a parent sucks when it comes to that.
I feel like it's harder now too, since they're bigger. Like, you don't want them to know, but like they know. You know what I mean?
They know. Like I said, like Lexi just slowly walks.
And then like when you open the door and you walk down the hallway, it's like the walk of shame. Like,
and then Lexi will be like, you would think, okay, she leaves it alone, right? She leaves, and then later she'll come and she's like, so what are you guys doing? And then we're like, oh, nothing. It's because Dad was changing, and then he locked the door. He never locks the door. And I'm like, okay, like. What? And then she'll just leave, and I'm like, she knows.
Yeah, she knows. She knows. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's that. You guys, let us know in the comments down below, what are your guys' most awkward sex situations? We want to know, okay? And if you guys have stories, put them down below too, because
I like to hear stories. I like to hear stories. I like to hear funny stories. Any awkward situations, anything you guys want to know. And honestly, not just to post on here. If you guys have any other questions, even just in general, I know we're speaking about like safe sex and things like that. Locally, I would always recommend, Google if you're looking for any type of protection, any type of clinic. If you don't have anyone to talk to, I know we're older, but we do have kids that are teenagers, and we tend to talk to them a lot about things like this. If you have no one to talk to and there are in any type of situation, just let us know. We'll make sure, we won't talk about it in a podcast. Or I know if you just need anyone to talk to about any situation, just let us know. We're here. We're here to guide you guys. We just want the best for all of you guys.
Yes. And at the end of the day, as always, you guys know, send us your stories. If you guys want our opinions on it, if you guys want any, you know what I mean, just to talk about it in general, if you guys need advice or, yes, whatever the case is, send that to our email, which is going to be in the description down below. And I think that's pretty much it for today's podcast.
That's it for today. And see you guys on our next podcast.
Bye, guys.
Bye.